Hey, time to shoot the intro for the first Preds PFR victory of the season. Woo!
Oh, I'm so sorry, Johnny. I'm still riding the high of that amazing Monday Night Football victory last night. Tighten up!
Everybody's hands go up, way up, as Nashville Predators defeat the Los Angeles Kings by a score of 2-1 in Victor Arvidsson's first game in Smashville after being traded last summer. He finishes with 0 points and was a -1 as he was on the ice for the game-winning goal. The Preds avoid their first 0-3 start for the first time in nearly 15 years and hope that this victory can set them in the right direction for the rest of the season. After not being able to see former Pred Calle Jarnkrok in his return to Nashville last Thursday, Bridgestone faithful would be rewarded for their patience with Victor Arvidsson's return RV in this game. Funny how that trade asset is dressed for his team, and I won't digress into this too much since the Preds won, but assets this team acquired during the offseason, well, one got sent down to Milwaukee on the weekend for some reason. Much of the fan base is still agitated about that one, and then a young up-and-coming player that everyone's excited to see play with the roster got scratched today. Well, at least the Preds did something right early, as during the first TV timeout signaled Arvidsson's tribute video, and as an appreciation for the standing ovation, the classic standing ovation that Bridgestone Arena faithful always put on, and the video, Arvidsson took an appreciation lap near the LA Kings bench to say thank you. Near the end of the first, did you miss it? Tanner Jeannot laid out Drew Doughty of the Kings with one of his beautiful hits, patent pending. Tanner signaling to General Manager David Poile, thank you for not exposing me to Seattle. In the latter half of the first period, the Preds were generating some chances, and they got rewarded for their effort with the first power play of the game. And even though they weren't able to score on it, they did lead where it counted for chances to create momentum by outshooting the Kings 13-7 in the first, and the game remained scoreless. Peterson for the Kings and Saros for the Preds making solid stops for both of their teams early in the second period, stirring up the Bridgestone faithful to bring last year's classic chant during the playoff push for this team of juice. Soon after, though, bad break for the Preds as off the rush, the Kings enter the Preds zone, and Anze Kopitar keeps it, snaps it under Saros's glove, making it 1-0 Kings. About the halfway point of the second period, in the Kings offensive zone, yes, you heard me right, in the Kings offensive zone, not in his defensive zone, where maybe it's okay to take penalties, not when you're on the offensive, Tanner Jeannot flips the script on his great hit on Drew Doughty and decides to hook Tobias Bornfot, putting the Preds on a penalty kill, but fortunately they would kill it off. With less than a minute to go in the second period, the Preds are really working hard to try and tie it, and the puck finds its way magically onto number 9's stick. Philip Forsberg, he gets in, he gets hooked for his effort. It looks like a delayed penalty, and then when play is stopped, yes, it will be a penalty shot. Certainly, Forsberg has got to score on this. I thought he was going to score. You probably all thought he was going to score, but amazingly, he didn't. But for their effort, the Preds would draw another power play before the end of the second that would lead into the third. Preds down by 1, trying to win this game in regulation. Preds continue early in the third period on the power play that they drew late in the second period. Play in the LA zone. Josi takes a shot on net from the point. Puck deflects out front off of Mikael Grenland's stick to number 95, Matt Duchene, who roofs it over Peterson, his first of the season, 1-1. Soon after, former Pred Victor Arvidsson creates a chance of his own, and he's got a break on UC Saros, who says no! And I'm sure during the next TV timeout, if Victor came by UC's crease again, UC probably said to him, come on, Victor, I've seen that thing too many times in practice. You got to try something else different. Just over 5 minutes left to go in regulation. Preds keep rolling as Colton Sisson saucers the puck over to Tanner Jeannot, who buries it past Peterson. 2-1 Preds, and once again, Tanner Jeannot almost telepathically up to the Preds management's box says, "Thank you, GMDP, for not exposing me to Seattle." Play continues as time seems to take forever to tick by for the Preds, trying to avoid that aggravating 0-3 start. We get under a minute left to go in regulation. Sarles making some clutch saves, and yes, the Preds avoid their first 0-3 start in nearly 15 years. They defeat the Kings by a score of 2-1. So, lucky game number 3, and the Preds get off the schneid and get their first victory of the season. It wasn't pretty, but they did what they had to do. Special teams continues to be impressive. It's early, but impressive for this team as they went 1 for 2 on the power play tonight and killed off both of the Kings' power plays. Now, rest up. You're going to need it for a speedy, young team like the New York Rangers when they come into town on Thursday before you head out on a quick 2-game road trip on the weekend. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, hit like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media, as always, by clicking on a channel name. Tell all of your friends about Redemption. 1 tribute video down. 2 more to go this season.